Bueno, voy a presentar a Dimitris. Dimitris Alexakis es geólogo, investigador principal, profesor asociado en el Instituto de Estudios Mediterráneos de la Fundación para la Investigación y la Tecnología Hellas en Grecia, FORT por sus siglas en inglés. Sus intereses científicos se centran en las aplicaciones de geoinformática, teledetección y SIG, en los campos de la geomorfología, la ecología del paisaje, los riesgos naturales, la arqueología del paisaje, la hidrología, la ciencia ciudadana y el monitoreo medioambiental. Ha publicado 65 artículos revisados por pares en revistas científicas de alto impacto, 6 capítulos de libros y más de 90 artículos en actas de congresos internacionales y nacionales, también revisados por pares, y ha participado como coordinador e investigador en más de 45 proyectos de investigación financiados por Grecia o a nivel internacional. Actualmente coordina el proyecto HORIZON-MSCA-Staff de intercambio de staff en TOPIO, que es el proyecto que él va a presentar a continuación. Thank you, Dimitris. It's your turn.
So yes, thank you, Mariana, thank you, Carolina, and thank you, Maria Jose, for the invitation. I will try to keep the time because maybe I have too many slides. So let's start and present the TOPIO project. So some few words about FORTH. I'm coming from FORTH. I'm a principal researcher here. We're a research center located in Greece, in the southern part of Greece, in Crete. And I think we are one of the biggest, maybe the biggest research center in Greece. So we're not a university, we're a research center, and we're applying basic research in different fields. So we actually have 10 institutes allocated all over Greece. Our institute is one of the 10 institutes of FORTH, is the Institute of Mediterranean Studies that promote research both in the humanities, social science, as well as applications of geoinformatics in the environment and in the culture. And we're located in Rethymno at Crete. So let's go to TOPIO. TOPIO actually means landscape in Greek language. It's towards a democratic landscape observation through geoinformatics and public participation. Our consortium consists of one research center, 3 universities, 3 SMEs, and one NGO. The duration of the project is 4 years, and now we're just finished the first year of the project, so we have a lot of things ahead. The budget is almost 1 million euros, and the project is under the umbrella of Horizon Marie Curie Staff Exchange project, and we're going to talk later what actually staff exchange projects are. So again, this is in detail our consortium. FORTH is the coordinator, but of course, University of Sevilla is one of the partners. Maria Jose and also Mariana participates in our consortium. We have academic partners from Portugal, from University of Sapienza from Italy, and also we have University of Ghent from Belgium, but there are also some SMEs from Greece, from Cyprus, and from Estonia, and the one NGO, the Hellenic Society for the Protection of the Nature from Greece. And this is the one photo from the kickoff meeting last December. So the aim of the TOPIO consists what is TOPIO? It's application of landscape ecology, citizen science, policy outreach, AI, with the use of Earth observation, digital twin, and geoinformatics, in order to find a common ground to involve both scientists and citizens in a unique bottom-up approach, in order to implement the European Landscape Convention all over Europe. TOPIO aims to give people an active role in decision-making in the landscape, and also wants to position the landscape as a key concept in addressing broader challenges such as the FAR Convention Plan, the Aarhus Convention, the UN Sustainable Goals, etc. And also TOPIO aims to promote the exchange of information on landscape policies and people's experience in order to protect, manage, plan, have public participation, and implement all these things at different scales and levels. But of course, the main goal is to raise awareness and make readily communicable results to a wide audience about the landscape monitor and protection. So the call, the project is under the umbrella of the Marie Curie Staff Exchange project. So these are the different calls of Marie Curie. But in this, at the center, you can see the Staff Exchange. So that aims to equip researchers and organizations with new knowledge and skills. And one of the goals of this type of staff exchange calls is to have a knowledge transfer between participation organizations, and that means knowledge transfer between academic institutes and companies. So it's a collaboration between universities, research centers, and the private sector in different scientific disciplines, and having a bottom-up approach. Who is eligible to participate in this kind of projects? Actually, there are researchers at any kind of their career. Let's say from doctoral candidates to postdoctoral researchers, they can be part of the different teams, and they can do the secondments. That means travel from one partner to another partner, from one hosted institution to another hosted institution, and exchange knowledge and know-how between the different partners. So all the doctoral candidates or the postdoctoral candidates, of course, the professors are eligible to work to participate in this kind of calls. And of course, okay, the most of the secondments are the staff exchange. Have to be done at least the 2/3 of secondments of each partner has to be done between academic partners and private sector, and only 1/3 of the exchange can be between the same sector. So the idea is to have an exchange of know-how between the academia and the private sector. So let's go to the core of the project. Why landscape? Why we work on landscape? Because we believe that the landscape is an important part of the quality of people. There are different people in urban areas, in degraded areas, in areas of high quality, or in everyday areas. It's a key element of individual and social well-being. And of course, landscape is an area as perceived by people whose character is the result of the action and interaction of natural and human factors. Okay, this combination natural and human factors. It's of course a source of economic activity. Is a basic component of the natural and cultural heritage, contributing to human well-being. This is classical diagrams about what landscape is. On the right hand, you can see that the landscape is a combination of cultural, perceptual, and natural things. And natural can be geology, landform, soils. Cultural can be land use, settlement, land ownership, and the perceptual. Different landscapes have different patterns, different texture, different colors, but also we can find there different smells, sounds, and there's also the interconnection of landscape components. What actual landscape is the heritage, the environment, the culture, the economy, of course the people, because it's the connection between nature and the people and the human activity. And all the decisions about the landscape are taken by the government and the local stakeholders that take the decisions. And there are different kinds of landscapes, touristic landscapes, industrial landscapes, and as I said before, is the intervention between ecological and social system. The ecological system can be affected by climate change, by the land use change. The social system can be affected by the changes in policy and economic growth. So all these things give us an initiative to study, to apply for this call and study the landscape changes in different areas across Europe. And the idea was initially started by the European Landscape Convention that was adopted by the Council of Europe back to 2000. It's the first international treaty on landscape, and it obliges all the EU members that have signed this treaty to incorporate the landscape dimension in their legislation. So what the ELC refers to, it refers to access of information, to public participation in decision making about the landscape, and access to justice in environmental matters, and covers all the landscapes, both outstanding and ordinary or even degraded, and provides a framework for integrated intergovernmental efforts towards the preservation of landscape character and its quality. Okay, this is a diagram. What are the things that will make a reality of the ELC, and we have already started working on these things on TOPIO: recognize landscape, identify landscape, assess landscapes, protect them, manage, plan, monitor the changes through geoinformatics, remote sensing, and GIS, and of course promote education, raise awareness, and cooperate on all of these aspects in a European scale. So these are the main approaches of a TOPIO project, and we're planning to make a web-based GIS platform. I'm going to explain to you later what we will actually do on this. We have 7 pilot areas across Europe where we will apply landscape character assessment. We're going to have a Earth observation analysis, to have digital twins of the study areas, to have a visual quality assessment using artificial intelligence approaches, and to apply sensitivity analysis and create a policy report for all the pilot areas. So these are the work packages. The horizontal are the general work packages, but also we have the package about the platform, the digital twins, sensitivity analysis, and of course, the main work package is about the landscape character assessment. And here is the allocation of our case studies. You can see we have one at in Crete and Greece. We have the second one in the vicinity of near Rome. There is another one in the western part of Cyprus, in Akamas, and we have also in Portugal, in Seville, in Spain, at Ghent, Belgium, and of course at Estonia. And here is the names of the study areas. At Seville, we have an area where there are new wind farms, and we have to study how the landscape is affected by this. In Akamas in Cyprus, there is a natural forest. In Belgium, there is a peri-urban area with a river, and there are different alteration changes and affections on the landscape, because there is urban sprawl in this area. There is a historic area in the Cairo Mount in Italy, and of course the Czarneka Landscape Observatory in Portugal, where we're going also to study the landscape changes there. And this is the study area in Greece, in Crete, is the Thalassena in the western part of Crete. You can see how the area has changed during the last 50 years. There are different agricultural practices, new greenhouses. There is a very important archaeological site there. It is a touristic destination, and of course there is a phenomenon of urban sprawl, and you can see somehow the difference during the last 50 years. We're going to monitor them, measure them, and delineate the landscape patterns in the broader area. So this is actually one of the most important figures of the TOPIO. It describes that it says, actually declares how that the experts and the public are going to collaborate, and in order to make the final landscape character assessment maps. So first we'll start off with the experts. Experts means the scientists, can be the PhD candidates, can be professors, postdoc researchers. We're going to collect all the spatial data for all the study areas. That can be the geology, the soils, hydrology, the landforms. Each study area will be free to collect different data, to create new data, let's say from geoinformatic tools or satellite images, and all this data will be used as base maps in order to delineate landscape character patterns. You can also use historical maps, visual quality maps, land use maps, and all this will be incorporated in an integrated GIS environment. And as I said before, these maps will be combined in order to express the spatial meaning of landscape character of different areas and delineate different patterns of landscape in order to understand how the landscape has been formed and assessed, not only for now, but also for the past, and also will make projections to the future. So we want to have identify areas of distinct character, classify and map them, using specific combination of natural, sociocultural, and perceptual attributes existing in different areas led to some similar landscape character types. Last month we had the first hour training summer school in the whole process and the whole approach, and this you can see some of our students and some of our participants that they have already started doing the collaborative work, working on the on base maps and trying to delineate first on the paper the different landscape patterns in the broader area of Ghent, Belgium. So it's a collaborative work. Sorry. Okay, so here you can see an example of a delineation of patterns in Chania, in Thalassaena, in the Greek case study, and we're going to do this for the bigger part of Crete. And of course, in all this approach, you can also use the climate change perspective and to map the force for change in the landscape and make projections in the future in the frame of climate change, urban sprawl, land use change. So this was one part, the experts part, but also there is the important part of the public participation, how the public will assist in the landscape assessment. So we want the public to participate actively, to have a form of exchange, to have actually democratization of the landscape, people to say their opinion about the landscape, how they feel about the landscape. And this will be, let's say, assisted by the digital platform that will be a custom-made platform. It will be ready by the January of 2025. The platform will be used both as a data inventory. We will upload all our GIS data there, and of course, as public participation tool. There will be certain questionnaires about the landscapes and the quality of the landscape for its study area, where the people, you can see here an example of the questionnaires. The people will will use their smartphone and answer on the field questions about the landscape and what they believe about this, if they have memories about from this landscape, and of course what they expect in the future that the landscape will be. So we want also a random selection of the participants in the public participation of GIS approach. So we will also have tourists, we'll also have local stakeholders, local people, students, that they will answer all these questionnaires either in a GIS platform but also in hard copies. So we're also planning to make some stakeholders meetings in all the study areas. And this is an example from another project, how the platform will work. You can see these red spots. There are areas where the people have answered to the certain landscape questionnaires. And you can see the allocation of people answering to these questions. So this is this is the landscape character assessment. Public participation and experts participation will be combined to have the final landscape delineation patterns, but of course also will use Earth observation. in order to map the land uses and incorporate this result in the landscape character assessment in different scales using different data, either from Copernicus or from NASA, but we're particularly interested in land use changes. Of course, as I told before, we're going to make digital twins of all the land of all the study areas. So that means spatial, spectral data describing the current and past and future situation of the study areas in order to have a spatial data inventory. Visual quality assessment. This will be not a core part of the TOPIO, but actually we're going to train an AI algorithm in order to, let's say, detect the photos of certain landscape and detect and characterize the landscape and their quality by training an AI algorithm. And one important part of the project will be the sensitivity analysis that Maria Jose and Mariana will work on this. So we're going to study in all the study areas the sensitivity and the tolerance of landscape to potential changes. And of course, we also make a policy outreach report collecting all the policies concerning landscape protection from all these countries. Collect all these reports in one report and make a comparison between the different European approaches. So these were the main work packages of TOPIO. As I told before, we started at the 1st of December of 2023. We have ahead more than 3.5 years. We have already started disseminating, and we expect that the next year we will have the first quantitative results. And the last month we have our first autumn school at Ghent, and about how to actually apply landscape character assessment. And we currently wait for the next autumn school at 2025 at Lisbon. You can check our project website and have all the updates about our summer school and all for our activities. It's the topioproject.eu. So, thank you.